this video, we are going to be going over everything that happened today in the markets, in the broad markets, with AMC stock, what you need to know. AMC is down 11.5% at the time of recording this video. Now, we do have some data coming out tomorrow morning as well that we will also go over. But first things first, let me know down below in the comment section, do you think we need a new CEO for Adam Aron? Or do you think he is doing a good job? I'm very curious on this because my personal opinion, we need a new CEO. Adam Aron is hell-bent on causing AMC stock to fall, to potentially get delisted, and for AMC to go bankrupt. I think if you were to truly read his intentions, those would be his intentions. Or, let me stop you there. Maybe Adam Aron is just unknowledgeable, uneducated on financial markets and how markets operate. I mean, let's be honest. What I seen last night was next level ignorance. It's almost blissfully ignorant. Like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Everyone else can see it, but he can't. And maybe that is the conundrum that he is faced with right now. As I explained in the last video, Adam Aron can get AMC stock to go up like that if he wanted to. It's a scoreboard, and Adam Aron is failing. AMC is not where it is because specifically the box office or, bad trading activities, right? That is obviously had a role to play in AMC stock's performance. The manipulation, synthetic shares, all of that we've seen over the years. At this point, though, I would argue that's probably not the main reason why AMC stock is where it is right now, right? The main reason AMC is where it is right now is simple. It's much more simple than that. And I wish there was some kind of elaborate way to explain this. Adam Aron has caused this. AMC stock is where it is because of dilution, and that's one thing Adam Aron did not mention at all on the earnings call. He said dilution's important. They need to do more dilution to pay off their debt and to raise capital. He said cash is king. I get it. But if you don't get AMC stock higher, my boy, my buddy, my friend, my pal, Adam Aron, you're not going to be able to raise capital. So you had to throw investors a bone yesterday. And he did not do so. He had to. He literally did not have a choice, and he did not do what he needed to do. It's kind of crazy, honestly. That's just for kind of having a fiduciary role, kind of makes you just scratch your head a little bit. Now, I think I could rant for about an hour on this topic. Just let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Do we need a new CEO for AMC stock? Let me know down below in the comment section. But let's get into this video. AMC stock is down a cool, calm, collected 12% today. Honestly, it's justified. And, to even have seen AMC fall 20% probably would have been justified, given the hype that we've seen heading into AMC earnings and the earnings call, and the sheer under-deliver that we got from Adam Aron on the earnings call. We got jack shit compared to what was hyped up. A lot of talk with zero substance. Which, justifies AMC stock going lower 12% today. Now let's start here with the Ortex data. You do have 12.2% short interest of free float. It's too soon to know for sure, but I'm almost positive there's a lot of shorting activity happening today in AMC stock. but we won't know that for at least the next couple of days. You do have $152.46 million worth of short positions currently in AMC, with days to cover at 1.83. 30.55 million shares that are currently sold short, with shares out on loan at 35.57 million. Cost to borrow 1.05%, utilization of 53.99%, and a short score of 64.94 out of 100. You do have cost to borrow fees, cost to borrow max at about 2.72%, cost to borrow average 1.25%. That wouldn't suggest there's a lot of shorting activity happening today, but you know, we'll see. Okay, over the next couple of days. Option activity from hedge funds and institutions, surprisingly quite neutral. 3 orders totaling $126,000 with a positive order value of 56%. Maybe AMC can, you know, run a little bit after we get this post-earnings throw-up out of the way, this 12% drop today. Maybe AMC can perform a little bit better, but there was really no catalyst for that. There's no reason that will happen. That's just sometimes what you see happen after drops on earnings, like Palo Alto. I mean, what happened? The stock dropped. Huge trade there as well. And what happened next couple of days later, following that drop? Palo Alto started to do well. Some of that had to do with Nancy Pelosi and her, you know, buying of some call positions. But still, that does tend to happen quite often, where you get a drop on earnings and then subsequently you do get a recovery over the next period of time or so. So there is that. That's kind of a possibility that could play out. Not something I would necessarily count on, but it is a possibility nonetheless. Now, if you take a look at calls in the money expiring today or tomorrow, you have 4,187, 111,000 calls expiring out of the money by this Friday. Puts in the money, 24,000. What, 5 times, almost 6 times the amount of calls in the money? Thank you, Adam Aaron. Puts out the money, 31,459. So a decent amount of option activity by this Friday. But again, it's, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I'm not expecting anything as far as upside in a substantial way for the end of this week. As I shared in the last video, if you look at StockTwits, there is some sentiment shifts that have happened today. Yesterday, you were bullish with 73% of bears or bulls out there. The bullish sentiment was at 73 out of 100. That was really good. Today, it's at 9 out of 100. Very, very bad. And honestly, you know, I'm surprised it's not 0 today. But basically, everyone is bearish on AMC stock today. Message volume is extremely high today. Yesterday it was extremely high at 77. Today it's extremely high at 89. So lots of messages about AMC, but they're pretty much all bearish. Participation ratio is sitting at 54, which showing a decent amount of accounts talking about AMC, but nothing too crazy. And for what it's worth, it's not that it's basically not bullish at all. So really not getting any kind of good news out of that anymore. As I said in the last video, you did have core PCE to come in today in line with expectations. The month over month got revised down to 0.1%. It was 0.3% previously, so big revision lower there. And basically PC across the board, headline and year over year, came in around expectations. Nothing was too bad or too good really across the board. Again, besides that last month revision that was revised pretty substantially lower. Now, personal income month over month came in at 1%. Estimate was 0.4%, so that was a big beat there. Maybe it starts to lead into more inflation. We just don't know just yet. That will happen, in my opinion, at some point down the line. But is that offset by other things falling? We'll have to wait and see. Market's really not freaking out about that at all here today. You do have personal spending month over month that came in at 0.2%. The estimate was also 0.2%. Now, coming tomorrow, we are going to get some data that will be coming out. 9:45 in the morning tomorrow, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI expected to come in at 51.5. Final numbers for February. last number we got was 50.7, so expecting that to be a little bit better. ISM manufacturing PMI is expected to rise from 49.1 to 49.5, so that would be a decent jump there that is expected. And then a lot of final data from the Michigan survey, the 5-year inflation expectations, consumer expectations, and Michigan current conditions, as well as 1 year ahead inflation expectations. Lots of finalized data will be coming out and revisions coming tomorrow. At 10:15 tomorrow, Fed Logan will be speaking. At 10:15 as well, Fed Waller will be speaking, and at 12:15, Fed Bostic will speak. And then at 1:30, you'll get Fed Daily, and then at 3:30 p.m., you'll get Fed Kugler that will be speaking. So some economic data like ISM manufacturing PMI expected to be important, highlighted in red here, and then the rest of the day is just going to be a couple of Fed speakers. Now, as of lately, we really haven't seen any kind of movement based on the Fed speakers and, you know, what Fed speakers have said. Even if they do say, you know, new information, it's just not having an effect on our markets anymore. Not nearly to the same degree as it did in, 2022, where that's all people cared about was what's the Fed going to say next, right? You guys probably remember Fed Bullard that would come out and have 2% swings on the markets based on what he would say about Fed funds rates needing to go higher and larger rate increases. He used to say all kinds of crazy stuff and give the markets gyrations. These days, markets just kind of go up. That's it. There is so little volatility. It's almost sickening. It's where the markets are really not in a great place right now. It's so bullish, it's unhealthy. Just gonna put that out there. There's zero risk priced into the markets at all anywhere you look. It's just, you know, good news ahead. I'll be the first to tell you if inflation does trend higher, if the economy gets worse from here, if earnings don't follow through next quarter, there's so many potential risks in which you're just priced for the best case scenario. So I do think it's a little bit of a dangerous market right now. But when you're this bullish, when there's this little volatility in markets, it can take some big events to cause downside. I do think a big downside potential catalyst is that ARM lockup on March 12th. That will also be the day in which we get the next CPI report. So not only the ARM lockup period, also the March CPI. And the ARM lockup period, if ARM stock does fall, then that can have a broader effect on the markets to kind of pull your AI stocks downwards. Now, today you will have some earnings coming out here in after hours and tomorrow morning with Zscaler, SoundHound, Fisker, Dell, Ginkgo Bioworks, Autodesk, Green Brick Partners, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Viva, Elastic, and then tomorrow pre-market you will get Plug Power and Fubo TV that will be reporting earnings. You are seeing the Russell 2000 outperforming today. The Russell is up 0.48%. The largest component of the Russell is SMCI. So when I look at the actual Russell 2000, your small caps, it's not really a great day out there. It's kind of a mediocre day at best. But I think SMCI is having a large outweighed influence on the Russell 2000 itself today. The NASDAQ is up 0.3% and the S&P is up 0.11%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 0.21%. So really not that much action across the board today. Kind of a slower day, all things considered. With PCE, you would have expected maybe a larger move, but I guess that's what happens when things come so in line with expectations. And even that last month downward revision, you were kind of already just priced for that. If you take a look at 10-year treasuries today, 10-year treasury yields are down about 3 basis points. Again, not enough to cause kind of this huge outsized rally, but definitely taking a little bit of that upside momentum away from the bond market. 10-year treasury yields have been rising pretty steadily since really February, when you hit a low of 3.81%. You're now at 4.24%. You've went up, what, almost 3 well, two rate hikes equivalent in just your 10-year treasury yield. So definitely a little bit better to see yields falling today, but again, it's not really the end all be all. I still think the markets are pretty vulnerable here. And if you take a look at the AI Investor Sentiment Survey, I think market participants agree with me, or should agree with me. Things are just a little too bullish out there. Bullish sentiment, this was yesterday, came in at 46.5%, up from 44.3% last week. Neutral investors jumped from 29.5% to 32.2%, and bearish investors dropped big time from 26.2% to 21.3%. That's just a little too bullish for my comfort. I just don't think bad news is priced into our markets, even as a possibility of happening. Let me know what you think about this information down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about Plug Power or Fubo earnings coming tomorrow morning. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.